Welcome to the Feminine Mistake Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nicole, and today I am joined by
Hillary,
Sarah.
And today our special guest is actor, writer, director, and creator of the Blackdill Test, returning guest Jasmine Waters.
Hello.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Jasmine.
Welcome back to the
Hi, I
show.
Bitch.
Jasmine and I are mortal enemies.
Uh-oh.
Is she the
gonna
first timer?
Have you been on 3 times?
This is my
you
third
are
time.
you are first.
Yeah.
You're in the 3 timers club now.
Ooh.
I think she's also the only person in the Two Timers Club.
No.
No.
Who else has been on
Wait.
twice? Nobody.
Jasmine,
Can
you're
I
the
make
only person
myself,
who's been
like,
on the show more
a
than once.
trophy?
So you're like
Yeah.
Al.
Can we make a?
Bal-
Well, we should make some kind of
Baldwin
trophy.
For
now.
a jacket for number 4, like
We
like
really
SNL.
should, or like with patches on it, like
Yeah.
if you like you
Like
work
a
like you're in a
Letterman jacket.
like you're in
She
a
gets bar
dojo
every
or
year that
something.
she comes back
I
on.
will wear it everywhere, and people will be like, "What the fuck is that?"
You're like, I've been on the fucking Feminine Mistake podcast 4 times, bitch. Okay. Today's film is A Wrinkle in Time.
Dun dun
Dun dun dun. Not the 2008 version. There is one for like a Lifetime
Wish I had
kind
watched
of.
that one.
A Lifetime one?
All right, Hillary's already got her opinions.
Have you seen that one?
Directed by
Oh.
Ava.
Duvernay.
Is it
Duvernay?
Duvernay?
Duvernay.
Duvernay.
Yeah.
We're in the South, so we're
Duvernay.
going to say Duvernay.
Duvernay.
Who also directed Selma and 13th and a lot of other really incredible films. And we're going to be talking about... Hillary's already making a face.
One of her least spectacular
Okay,
films,
all
A
right.
Wrinkle
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Time.
yeah.
Damn it.
Everyone has opinions. We're all going to get to them. I think Hillary's making hers clear at the beginning of this show.
Everyone's like
So curious to hear you all's wrong opinions. on
Hey,
this.
I haven't said mine yet. You don't know what I think. I'm keeping my cards close
I
to
know
my
it's
chest.
wrong.
Yeah, I literally don't know what any of you feel about this movie because
We weren't allowed to talk about it.
Right after we saw it, we like just left.
We just
and, like,
left.
Didn't even.
I
make
heard
any
all
faces.
about what my 7-year-old thought of this movie,
Oh my
which
God,
we
I
can
can't
get
wait.
to later.
I can't wait.
Okay, so before we get into actually talking about the film, let's talk about our experiences with not just the film, but anything else about the director, Ava DuVernay, or the book Wrinkle in Time. If any of you have read the book, let's just go around the table and talk about our experiences with Wrinkle in Time. Prior to the podcast, let's start with our guest, Jasmine.
I have no experience with this movie, as per usual.
Just walked into a theater, didn't
Just
know what you were
walked
seeing.
in,
You saw it
hoped for
today,
the best,
right?
Saw it today.
So
Oh
it's
my
fresh.
gosh.
Ava DuVernay. I have not seen Selma because I'm a terrible black
Oh my
person.
God. That's really good.
I refuse to watch 13th because I don't want to be stressed
Yeah,
out
very
as a
sad,
black
yeah.
very
person.
sad.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jasmine.
But I do connect with her on a spiritual level because she's a successful black woman and I am
She's incredible, yeah.
a not successful black woman.
Hey, you
Whatever.
are Atlanta successful,
You are.
which is all I ever want to be.
I'm just cracking up at that you haven't watched Selma, you haven't watched 13th, but I do know what you watched earlier today and what you watched last night.
I did-
your marathon?
Yes.
Your shitty teen girl marathon.
I did watch, or I did work with an extra who worked on Selma, and she told me a lot about her experience.
Really?
I did not like this woman.
Okay.
But she told me how her and Oprah are now best friends because she stood next to Oprah the entire time.
Oh, she's
Like
one of those.
regular sized Oprah or like 50-foot Oprah?
Regular sized Oprah.
Because I feel like Oprah is actually a god.
she might be that tall.
I
I
think
feel
she
like she
is.
might be like 4'9", but I still feel like
feel-
I'd look up to
You
her
would
if
definitely,
I met her.
for sure.
You know?
I feel like she was born to play this role. I feel like
Absolutely.
she is this role.
All right, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
So anything else? So you didn't have any experience with this, didn't read the book?
None.
All right.
Did not.
Sarah.
Okay, so this was one of the books that my dad got for me as a kid and expected me to read it. I think he read the first chapter to me aloud because he loves to read to me aloud.
That's so sweet.
And I think I wasn't interested in it. I don't know why, because
Yeah.
like when I saw the film, I was like, this is something I would totally have loved to read when I was a
Mhm.
kid, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All
But
right. Have you seen
yeah.
any of Ava DuVernay's?
yes,
other
I've seen
films?
13th and Selma.
Okay.
Um,
I'm
Jasmine,
laughing at
you
myself.
have lost
I'm
your
sorry.
your black card has been
we're more
revoked.
black than you are, Jasmine. No,
Damn
I'm
it.
just
I'm
kidding.
not doing it.
I've lived it. I don't need to watch the movie.
Don't need to watch that shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so that's all I know about it.
All right. Hillary.
I read this book when I was like your daughter's age, and
7.
I don't remember it.
Okay. Apparently not necessary for knowing anything about this movie.
No, I still don't know
Apparently.
anything about this movie, even after watching 2.5 hours of it.
Was it 2.5 hours long?
I don't know. Was it longer?
No, I think it was less.
God,
than that.
it was an eternity.
It's a Disney kids film. It's less than
Yes,
that.
for sure.
It was. Yeah, that's what I know.
So you read the book,
yeah.
but you don't remember it.
I don't remember it. No.
Okay, well that's helpful.
And then
You were supposed to be our literary scholar for this
I
episode.
know I was gonna read it.
Or we should get Charlotte in here. She knows every
Oh my
fucking
God,
detail.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna read it, but then my month off turned into not a month off.
It's not. No,
And-
when a month off at
like-
Critical Crop Top is
So
not.
It's on my Kindle. Don't know if I'll visit it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. There's a graphic novel if you're into that sort of thing.
I don't know. I don't want anything to do with it now.
Yeah. Samesies.
And then,
Okay.
but yeah, I've
Okay.
seen all of
Some
Ava's
hostility
films.
in the room.
I follow her on Twitter.
Okay.
She's cool.
We do follow. Well, we follow her. You follow
I
her.
think she may have liked something that I tweeted once, but maybe not. I don't remember.
What?
I don't remember.
Jasmine's like, please.
Can we be her friends? That's how Oprah got cast.
She
So-
seems like someone who like takes no shit. Just like she seems like a really tough cookie.
Tough
Tough cookie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that description.
Yeah, I had the book when I was a kid. I had a whole. I don't know where these books came from. I'm pretty sure my dad or my mom or somebody stocked my bookcase full of books, some of which I read and some of which I didn't. And I had A Wrinkle in Time. I started reading it, and I think I started reading it too young, and I didn't get it,
Yeah.
and it was just too hard for me to follow, and I couldn't stick with it. And also, I really only read Goosebumps, Stephen King, and Christopher Pike. So
I wasn't allowed
Did
to
not
read
fall into that category.
Goosebumps.
I did read.
I wasn't.
I read
either.
I loved it.
exclusively
Still read them.
horror fiction,
I loved-
basically,
Do you remember
Yeah.
the
until
Goosebumps?
adulthood.
That was like one of those follow or like choose your own adventures where like you would get to the back and
Yes,
it'd be like,
they were the best.
do you
loved-
turn down the alley or do you run away? Bitch,
Fucking-
I run away.
I
I died every fucking
I
time.
went through every fucking possible scenario.
The
I was
only
like,
time-
which one should I do next?
That's one of my big
only time
regrets in life is that I didn't read those when I was a kid.
You guys,
should
we
read
should
them
do a
now.
choose your own adventure movie.
Yes. Oh, that would be amazing.
How fun would that be?
That would be a video game, though.
Yeah.
It would be a video.
Fuck, you're right. Okay, never mind.
They
So I
have those.
didn't
It's a
read the
video
book.
game.
Yeah.
My experience with Wrinkle in Time, I also have never seen one of Ava DuVernay's films. I feel really bad.
Your black
saying
card
it.
is
Terrible.
also revoked, Nicole.
I think
Luckily,
for a number of
Nicole's
reasons. Luckily, I'm
oh,
white.
yeah.
Except all the black people will now shame
This is a
Jasmine.
podcast.
That's
Nobody
true.
could see her.
So I haven't seen any of her films. I've wanted to. I wanted to watch them for the podcast, but actually, as you mentioned, our month off turned into not a month off. So so we've been busy pretty much every night since the last show closed, I would say.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I haven't
I
had
had
time.
yesterday off.
We had yesterday
and
off.
I
Yes,
cleaned
we
this
did.
place.
I folded 5 baskets of laundry yesterday.
I did 3 loads of laundry, but they're all laying on my bed.
Whatever. It's cushioning.
I'm probably gonna curl up under them
It's
tonight.
cushioning.
There ain't no rest for the wicked.
My house is starting to look like that crazy fucking junkyard room in the Labyrinth where the lady is like putting stuff on her back. That's what my house looks like. Anyway, so I haven't read the book. Didn't see any of Ava DuVernay's movies. I'm fucking useless. My experience with Wrinkle in Time is really through my daughter, Charlotte, who's 7, who first read the graphic novel last year, loved it, read it like 2 or 3 times, I think. Got her the set of books. She was pissed that they weren't graphic novels. She was like, wait, I thought this was a graphic novel. And I was like, no, you have to actually read the words. And she was like, And then we went and saw the movie. I guess we can wait until later for me to tell you what she thought of it. But
I'm dying to know.
I mean, look, first of all, I just have to say that my 7-year-old is cynical as fuck. And like watching, first of all, she thinks every book she
is.
reads,
It's so funny.
every book she reads, she thinks there's a movie about it because she read Harry Potter and there's a movie for every Harry Potter book. So she read all the Harry Potter books and we've watched the movies, and every fucking time she complains about the art direction, the casting.
God, I love her.
She's
so
like
much.
sitting there watching the Chamber of Secrets with me, and she was like, that is not what the basilisk looks like. So
It's true. Nothing ever looks as good as
Right.
it looks in your mind.
So
Right.
she's always disappointed by the movies. But this one in particular, after the movie was over, I was like, so did you like the movie? And she was like, I mean, why did they even make it? It was nothing like the book. That was her opinion.
Oh my God, I love
She was like, why would they make this movie if they were going to leave so many things out and change them? And like, so she was
Yeah.
telling me about all the things they changed. She was, but that's the thing is like a movie. I try to explain to her that movies are not the same. Like you have to adapt things for the screen.
Yeah.
But her feeling was, I mean, sure, it was cool. I got to eat nerds and drink apple juice, so I liked that part. I think she liked the kids that were in the movie. And I think she kind of liked the actors that played Miss Who and Miss Watson and all that. But as for the movie overall, I think she didn't care for the fact that a lot of things were different.
Was she
and
mad that
she
they
wasn't
changed
immediately
the
like
main
that was
character?
amazing.
To a black girl.
You know, here's the thing about that. She didn't say it after the movie, but when she saw the trailer, she's like, that's not what she looked like in the graphic novel. And I was like, well, they're not going to cast somebody who looks exactly like the person in the graphic novel. And isn't it more important that the character embody the presence of the person, and it doesn't really matter what their skin color is, right? And then she was like, yeah, okay. And then that was the end of that.
God,
You're
kids
such a
are
good
so
parent.
much smarter than us.
You're such
I'm
a
really
good
not,
parent.
guys. I am making
I'm glad.
it up.
No, I'm glad you let
making
her
it up.
in that
No.
way because
Yeah.
it could have been really like it could have been a really racist conversation accidentally from her standpoint. It could have been like, but no, mom, she was blonde haired, blue eyed white girl, and I need her to look like that.
Well, that's the thing is I think most of the kids
are amazing.
don't seem to give a fuck about that unless
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
told to give a fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly, like, when I read all books as a child, it did not matter what they were fucking described as looking
Yeah.
like. They looked
Yeah.
like me.
yeah.
was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
looked
Right.
like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, that was
Same-
how I read
same
books.
here.
I tried to do that a lot at times when I read books, but it's really hard to when you come
I'm
across
sure.
something that's like, and her straight hair billowed in the wind.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's a lot
yeah.
easier
Well,
when
I
you're a
don't-
white
And her
girl with
red
curly
hair
to
and her
remember that, yeah.
her porcelain feature.
I hate
like,
that
no.
shit.
I was
I
like,
hate
is
it when
she
women's
ashy?
skin is described as porcelain.
She needs some lotion.
Her fair. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our experience with the film and the story of Wrinkle in Time, part of the podcast. So let's get into talking about this movie.
The house is a mess, Jack. The kids are a mess, Jack. You're a mess, Jack.
You have been a total bitch ever since you came to New York.
You seem sort of distant.
Let's just do it, man. You look stupid and rich. Stupid and rich. Fascist.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. So let's talk about Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle
A
in
Wrinkle in Time. Why do I keep leaving the A off? I don't know. A Wrinkle in Time, directed by Ava DuVernay, starring don't know the young girl's name.
Storm Reed.
That's right, Storm Reed.
She has the best name.
I
She
know,
fucking does.
Storm.
Oprah's in this.
Goo Goo,
Oh,
isn't
no,
it?
she has the best name.
No, the best name
Reese
is
Witherspoon.
Goo Goo.
Mindy Kaling.
David Oyelowo.
Who does he play?
He plays the It.
Oh shit!
Chris
I didn't
Pine.
know
Again,
that.
disappointing.
Chris,
Chris
Pine,
Pine, of course.
Well,
Pine
who
is
played her
Belle.
mother? I don't have her
Goo
name.
Goo.
Her name's Gugu.
Her name is Goo
Are you
Goo.
serious?
She played Belle in Belle. She played Belle Dido Belle in Belle.
Okay.
Her name is Goo Goo. My phone's on airplane mode, so I can't look it up.
Sorry, that's my fault. It's the recording
But
device.
she's amazing.
She was great.
Actually, one of the things that I like when I was looking at it when the first scene happened, I was like, oh, so we're pretending like mixed parents have to be comprised of a white man and a really light-skinned black woman. And then she
Yeah,
turned
yeah,
her
yeah.
face and I was like, oh, it's Goo Goo. I'm sorry, Goo Goo. My bad. Carry on.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing about a white man and a really light skinned black woman.
You know, if it wasn't Goo Goo, I'd be upset. But now that I know it's Goo Goo,
We're
I
getting
can't say
there, you
anything.
guys. One day we'll have Lupita
Yeah.
cast across from Chris Pine. It's a short
Oh,
while
that
away.
would
It'll
be
happen.
beautiful.
Wouldn't it be?
or Jasmine.
Oh, right.
Jasmine.
Of course.
You're right.
Jasmine
Sorry,
and
Through Lupita.
they'll,
You're right. Fuck Lupita.
they'll resurrect Paul Walker.
Oh, bless.
no.
How would
It'll
we,
just be his decomposing corpse like slung across her body. She'll be like, finally.
if Jesus could rise, Easter's a week away.
It'll be
don't
Chan-
want
it'll be,
Jesus.
that'll be as Paul Walker.
Jesus was brown, Jasmine. You don't want him to rise.
If
You
Jesus could rise, then so can
want... Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
So
I don't go to
can-
church, so I don't get that
I don't.
reference.
I'm not doing great.
Oh, come on, you're Catholic, or you were Catholic.
I was.
You
at
have
a
enough
certain
church for
point.
a lifetime. Okay, so we should talk about this movie. This movie here. So of course this movie came out this month. We actually saw something that came out this month, you guys.
Opening weekend.
I mean,
right?
as of this podcast recording, it's March. We're recording at the end of March. So before we, so to get us sort of into the discussion of the film, everybody's written down, perhaps? I'm the only one with a piece of paper sitting.
Oh, I have it
was
on my
told-
phone.
Okay.
I was told not.
You
to
don't
take
have
notes.
to. You don't have to take notes. You just have to have
slacker.
thoughts. So
We'll
we're gonna go
see.
around.
I tried.
We're gonna go around and talk about 5 things at least.
Oprah's hair is all
that-
5.
Oprah's hair.
Oprah's hair 1.
So
Oprah's hair
does anybody
2.
have a burning desire to go first with a point that they would like to bring up? I think Hillary is turning into the Kermit meme.
I have a
Almost.
peach roll in my mouth. I can't try it. Right now.
I mean, I can.
Please do.
Okay. So, I was going to mention this to you before the podcast,
Ooh.
but because we decided that it was a thing that actually made sense to other people, I decided
Yeah.
I was going to say it. So, I was struggling during this movie with the cute, very cute relationship between Caleb,
Is his name Caleb?
Calvin.
Calvin.
between Calvin and
Might
Megan.
as well have been
Right.
Caleb.
He looks
So-
like a Caleb.
No,
No,
the
the
boy
friend.
from school.
You know, you're thinking of Charles Wallace.
Yeah, and I remember his name because they said
say
it
it
75
a
fucking
million
times.
Million times.
But so Calvin and Megan, the cutest, by the way.
Yeah.
But
So cute.
I loved her. She was great.
I'm going to tell you when I started cringing in my seat. So,
Okay, please do.
Please.
I have a bad habit of being attracted to guys that are younger than me, but not under 18. I have a very good threshold for telling.
So this is not about
No,
that.
it's not about
This is
that.
not about that.
I was so uncomfortable
Okay.
with him looking at Megan and her
Yes.
eyes and being like, "You're gorgeous.
Yeah.
You don't even
No.
know it." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Holy shit! Does
seriously.
he know he's 15 and that
Yeah,
they can't have sex
yeah.
on camera?"
Oh, they're
Please-
13. They're
please sit down.
13,
Oh,
Jasmine.
I was a little disturbed by that too. Also, I just want to say publicly that no woman should trust a young man with eyes that are that blue.
They
Yeah.
are so blue.
Like there can only be bad
No,
things.
but I agree, Jasmine.
after
The
that.
way he
You're
looked
right,
at
he is a
her
White
was
Walker.
like libidinous.
yeah, I went with my
He
friend
was-
Interior and I cringed
he
like, every
was
time he talked to her. I was
consuming
like,
her
"Ugh."
with his
Yes.
eyes. It was
Yeah.
quite
He
upsetting.
was like
was-
making
it was
love to her.
upsetting.
I was like, "No."
And
was upsetting.
she was like,
It
I know
wasn't
she was
really-
like, I'm sorry,
But
I
here's
don't know what's
my-
happening.
Here's my question for you. Was he directed to do that? Or do you think that this is a young actor who has watched older actors woo
Probably.
women for years and years and is imitating what he's seen?
he's probably imitating.
So do you think
Instead of
do you think
imitating his
Ava was
experience.
constantly battling with him like, hey, could you
please
maybe
stop
dial
fucking her
down
with
the
your
eye
eyes.
fucking just a
I
sketch?
think it's like not either of those things. I think it's when I think about me in middle school, technically there were guys probably just as inappropriate, but now that I'm an adult and I see it happening, I'm like, yikes.
I know,
Yeah.
I
I
know.
need that
And I'm
not
sitting
to
next to my
happen.
7-year-old, and I'm like, you guys,
I knew no guys
please,
that
this is
slick
a
when I was
children's
13.
movie.
Oh, I
I
did.
don't know. It just like it seemed out of place.
It was
Yeah.
so
And
uncomfortable.
It seemed like way too mature for their age.
Yeah.
And I think that for
Yeah,
a
I wanted it
director
to be
with
more
so much-
innocent.
yeah, for
Yeah.
a director with
Yeah.
so much insight into her characters and who puts so much work into her films and is so prolific, to have something that was overlooked
Icky.
in a way and
It
kind
was
of
fucking icky.
Like
Yeah.
if he wasn't directed to do that, like it was overlooked.
It was overlooked.
And
Yeah.
he wasn't directed, and like that's kind of
Do you think he just kept doing that and they couldn't make him stop?
Well, like
fire him?
Fire him.
I did
He's a
feel like
professional actor.
Okay.
I did feel like it was
okay.
minorly. I will put an asterisk on all of it and say that I did find it minorly endearing to have a boy with blue eyes, as such, being so attracted
Yes.
to this young black girl with
Yes.
this beautiful curly hair.
That was
like
number
him.
And I
one on
loved
my
that.
list.
Yeah, how
Is
he
I wanted to talk
complimented.
about how he multiple times said, "You have great hair," or "You have beautiful
we
hair."
should talk about
And
that.
the
'cause
way
I think
that
I'm gonna
her-
have a different
Yeah,
opinion
yeah.
on
I
it.
have a
than
different
everyone.
opinion.
I
No,
think
I
just-
wanted to ask
wanted-
you about
I
that.
want to talk about it. I also want to talk about the fact that they made I feel like there was a lot of effort put into the way that her hair was lit. Like it was kind of it had a constant sort of halo almost, where like all the lighting seemed to be magic hour all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I see what
Okay,
you're
so
Yeah.
saying.
okay, so
So
what
yeah.
are everybody's thoughts on that?
On her hair.
On the fact that they brought up her hair. I mean, is that a part of the book?
I think that having
Is
a
that in the
white
book?
character
No,
of
bring
course
up
not,
her hair
because she's
so
white.
much
It-
was sort of an apology tour,
So,
so to speak.
An apology
Yeah.
tour.
yeah. So the way
Do you think
when
you
it-
read a blog and was like, "Black girls like it when you talk about their hair"?
when it first happened,
Don't touch it though.
I looked at my friend and I was like, huh, because it was just like, I like your hair.
She was
cool,
like,
dude. It's fucking hair.
No, she was like, don't say that. She said
Yeah.
that. She
Yeah,
was like,
she
don't
did.
say
That's
that.
that's because she didn't like her hair, and I
Right.
get that struggle too. But it was more so like my offense was him being like, I like your hair, not because he liked it. I think that's very endearing. I think that's great. I think it was the way that it seemed, the delivery of it seemed to be fetishizing her hair.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was
I
huh,
kind of felt
I
that
like
too.
your curly mixed girl hair. Fuck you, dude.
But do you think did the director put that in as a way to communicate to the
This is
audience?
it would be, probably yes, guaranteed.
But it was not written by Ava.
but
it was written by a different woman.
That's true.
There were a lot of things that were thrown in there as an ode to Black people that we can talk about later.
Can we? Let's talk about it
We
right
can talk about
now.
it now.
Let's fucking do
Yeah.
it.
Did y'all see all the odes to Black people? The reason why I
don't
can't
know.
hate this movie as much as Hillary does, obviously.
Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Hillary fucking hated this
This
movie.
movie was garbage. Don't go see it.
I didn't care for it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I think it was a children's movie.
Yes.
I think that
Children's.
parts of it were boring. And I thought that parts of it were confusing, especially when I went
It
back
was
today
so fucking confusing.
and looked at the book outline, the outline of the book, and I was like, oh, well, this, like, for example, Kelvin is supposed to be a popular kid. And so I feel like if that wasn't communicated clearly to me.
No.
She mentioned
So if-
it a few times.
She said he was well liked.
Yeah.
But if he was a popular kid who suddenly showed up on her doorstep, I feel like that would have had meaning because she was having struggles with the popular kids.
Yeah, no, we didn't see him.
And I feel
in
like they didn't
school at
communicate
all.
that.
No,
Yeah.
And that's
they
just
showed
one
him,
thing.
They showed him once in school. They showed him whenever she smacks that bitch in the face with the
Right,
basketball.
but we don't see his friends. I don't know. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
communicated
no,
to me.
I think whenever he was like when they were in the basketball court, I definitely did not get that he was supposed to be
No.
a popular kid because there was nobody around him.
Yeah.
And I think it would
But-
have had more meaning to find out that his dad was kind of abusive.
Yeah.
Because you always think the popular people are perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was missing. Anyway, so I think there were some confusing things. And I think that it was boring at parts. But then, honestly, and I've written some of these things down, there were moments that I found truly moving, that I felt were very beautiful and moving.
Yeah.
And I hope we do talk about some of those because
like the flying cabbage.
I actually
Beautiful
wrote down.
moving?
I wrote down a Thai lettuce wrap. That's actually what I referred to
I
it
was
as.
like, I literally, as I was watching it, I was like, "Ooh, is there a P.F. Chang scene
Exactly,
here?
exactly. Okay, I want to
Flying
circle back to
cabbage.
Jasmine's ode to Black people because I do want to. Let's get back
Let's
to that.
list all the odes.
So I super appreciate Ava DuVernay because there's first of all there's just a bunch of Black people, which is wonderful. But I
Yeah, there was in many of the lead roles, the principal,
Yeah.
the mother. It was. I was really happy
and it was
to
the
see
principal from like the guy who played in Moonlight, and there's teachers and things like that. So in school there was like a big Maya Angelou poster
Yeah,
Okay.
I
and
noticed
shit,
that.
I didn't
Yeah.
see
and then
that.
I was like, okay, I see you. And then when they got home and she was I don't remember where they were, but they were like in the hallway, and there were a whole bunch of like just pictures of Black people in the background. And then
I didn't pick up on this
Mindy
stuff. I really
Kaling's
didn't.
character, is that Miss Who?
Miss Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Who, she makes reference to Outkast. She
does.
She
Yeah.
makes a reference
Yeah.
to Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I mean, she made a reference to Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's a person of color, so I will
Yeah.
touch on him as well.
Yeah.
I know you'll touch on him.
Yeah.
Really?
Not in a sexual way. Yay.
Okay, no, it's purely an intellectual
Yeah,
fascination.
Okay,
Intellectual.
fine. Am I alone in this?
Yeah.
I find him cute. I find him he's
Fine, whatever. I'm not gonna
With his
defend
haircut
it.
now, maybe, but he can't sing. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no.
But there's so many moments where they refer to Black people, or there's like subtle Black people in the background. Black amazing people are being quoted on the last Mrs. monologue. Whenever they're about to
Yeah.
leave, they start listing amazing
Yes.
Black people.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was
along
really
with
cool.
people.
As like the people who were like the like,
warriors.
Yeah, the warriors that she is like. I really enjoyed that. I
Yeah.
like at that moment I was like, ah.
And
But it was also
also,
just like a moment of like
now that
music
you're
was
bringing it
manipulating
up,
my emotions.
I feel like and again, this is a children's movie. This is straight up a children's movie. It is not an attempt to really bring in adults with like
Yeah, that
subtlety.
was one of my topics was this is a fucking
This
kids
is a
movie.
kids
This is not
movie.
a family movie. It's a kids movie.
This is a kids movie, but that's okay. That's if that's who that's for. That's okay. But kids movies mythologize childhood, and
Yeah.
as children, we grow up feeling we relate to, and we make those movies a part of our child. Like The Goonies, for example, is a movie that was a mythology. Like that was something that we would play. We would pretend to be in the Goonies or Ghostbusters, and those things were mythologies of my childhood. How many children of color have something like that? You know,
I mean,
how many of movies like that exist? And then this is something that falls into that. This is a big budget, huge movie where they're allowed to. The obvious thing is that there is there are people of color in the roles, but now all these things you brought up in terms of the production design and the parts of the script, things that maybe I didn't pick up on because it just kind of washed over me as a white person. Like, these are all things that children, black children are going to internalize this, and it'll become part of their childhood.
see
We can travel
themselves in
across
it.
time. We can be really smart with physics and science. Like, she was really quick with it, and even the idea of her being interracial, and her father being the one who wasn't there.
Right.
It was really perfect, and I think very strategic. They strategically made her mother black and her father white, because had her father been black and her mother been white and he was gone, it would have made a different connotation.
It would have been a
It would have been,
stereotype.
black fathers are never there.
Yeah.
Instead, it was this white man who was missing, and still that same connotation was there, but it's not that negative stereotype.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was really strategic and really well done, because their mother was always there for them. And I don't know. Like, I can't hate the movie because it's something that I there were things that I was like, why? What is this? This is
I would
stupid.
agree with that. Yeah.
But there's enough that I'm like, okay, I appreciate that you not only put black people in this movie, but it doesn't feel like you force black people into this movie. They have their place, they have their space, and they are in these roles. And with the exception of like, oh, I like your hair.
So that
Your
was
hair
the
looks
one
good
thing you
like
think
this.
didn't work.
It didn't work the first time. The second time it happened, it was fine.
Okay.
I was fine with it by the second time because it felt more genuine. The first time it happened, I was like, little boy.
Was that kid just a bad actor?
I don't actually think he was a bad actor. I just think he,
You know who
he
was a bad
he's
actor?
Australian, so they're just super sexual.
Fun
and shit.
fact.
Charles Wallace was fucking bad. That kid that played Charles Wallace was like Disney TV show bad.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, you were saying, Sarah? I thought he was like, especially the part where he
certain
turns
parts.
into evil Charles Wallace.
Yeah.
I thought he was super
But
bad.
like, kids aren't good at acting. Like, when a kid is good
disagree.
at acting, it's
Some
like
are.
very
Some are.
amazing.
Some are really
yeah,
good,
I
and they
mean-
could have afforded to find a good one.
I think there are more child actors that I'm impressed with than adult actors most of the time. Because I feel like with adults, we've seen more, so we should be able to do more. But there are so many kids who can like let go of the small things that they know because they haven't been around as much,
Yeah.
and they can actually
And they
dive
have
into
imagination.
a character.
Yeah.
Charles Wallace did some weird shit.
He was good when he was just a cute little boy. Honestly, I was fine with him until he had to do the heavy emotional stuff where he became evil Charles
When he
Wallace.
was
Then
a
I was like,
demon.
ooh, girl. No.
I was just terrified of him
No.
personally. I don't trust little boys.
Not to laugh. I was
it was
trying
not
so
good.
hard.
It was not good. Okay. Since you brought up Chris Pine, I want to talk about something, and then we'll pull somebody else will pull a topic. I really want to talk about how Dr. Murray is a kind of a shitty dad.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about that.
Yeah.
On a number of levels. So she idolizes him. Obviously, he makes a mistake. And I think the movie, this is something I see. And again, I'm coming from a person who, I have children, so I watch children's movies all the time. So I'm looking at this like other children's movies.
I don't ever watch children's
Right.
movies.
So I've seen a bunch of them. And I have to tell you, they're a lot worse than this movie.
Yeah.
So
That's why I don't watch children's movies.
well, yeah. Sometimes you're forced to if
I won't.
it means that you get a little peace and quiet for like 2 hours.
Maybe one day.
So I noticed this in a lot of children's movies that there's like there's sort of this trope of the parents that don't pay attention to the kids or don't listen or don't understand the children, authority figures in general. I think we see this with the principal a little bit as well. Adults not listening to children, and also parents who put their work above their children, which is something that, because Charlotte also read Coraline, and so that's a movie we've seen recently, and that was a big thing in the movie Coraline, was the parents like ignoring
Yeah.
the little girl because they had to work, which makes me
Yeah, I
feel real
love
good
it.
about
Really good
myself
movie.
Love it.
because yeah, that's a great movie. I work from home, so that hit a little too close to home for me. So I want to talk about two things that not only really I found upsetting, but that I'm not sure the movie fully dealt with.
Okay.
And one is when they get Dr. Murray back, and then he wants to leave Charles Wallace behind.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Like, what
Yeah,
the
that was a
fuck,
big,
Dad?
that like ruined everything.
I'm gonna be a dick real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Charles Wallace needed to be murdered at that point. That motherfucker was crazy. Kill him.
like,
but
He's
that's
a
your
demon.
son.
Oh my
Like I would
God.
I wouldn't be able to make that choice. I
Yeah,
would never
no.
leave one of my children behind. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
able, like, I can't say how I would react in a situation where I may think that I only have the chance to save one child and not both. But I feel like I wouldn't, I don't feel like I would
Not
be able to
both,
make,
You have 3.
well, that's why you have so many.
Right.
You would like
So
to
in
up
case
the
there's a
ante.
fire, you still have
Oh
enough
God,
hands for the
let's. Oh,
farm.
I can't. It's just no. I don't like it. But I don't think that I would actually be able to make that choice. I don't think I'd be able to leave one of my children behind. I think I would be like, you go and I'll stay. You know
how
what
I
I mean?
feel
Like
about
he didn't
every
even
dog in the
choose
world.
to stay.
Yeah.
Like if he could have made her go, I would understand that. You test her back. Testering, of course, being the thing that allows them to travel betwon dimensions.
Or Tesla, like I like to call it.
So he's
car.
just getting in a Tesla,
getting in a
driving a
Tesla.
little electric Tesla.
Tesla-ing.
If he had tried to get her to go back, that would have made sense to me. And now I understand this is a deliberate choice in the movie, but I also feel like the movie doesn't really tackle it too much.
Well,
Like
she freaks out and starts crying, which I
Right.
thought was a great reaction.
It was.
And then when she gets back, he knows that he messed up, and she doesn't forgive him.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
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 I liked that. I was like, yeah, you shouldn't forgive him.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also I would have been like, Mom, I know he just got back, but you are divorcing this man.
Yeah.
He tried to leave my baby brother in a different dimension.
Okay.
Not cool.
I want to talk about that because like he walks in and is just basically like, sorry, I'm late for dinner. And then they make out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I'd be
no.
like, who were you with? What's that bitch's name? Where have you been? I'm sorry. I would not like immediately be like, oh, my husband was just in another dimension. Like I would want some fucking questions
That's what
answered.
I thought.
Well, they
too.
had
You
already
know?
done
Yeah.
their thing, so she knew he was in another dimension. I feel like she knew he was in another dimension.
I
I think she
feel
just
like that
thought
was supposed to be
he was
understood,
lost.
but
But
yeah.
let's say that.
Why would
that
she think that,
did,
though?
Because they
Because
had
that was
all
the
that.
goal.
She
They had
came
all
up
that
with
work.
the science to make it work.
Then why did he have to explain it to her when he came back?
Because he's a man.
He's a man.
Okay,
He
well
was
that makes
mansplaining.
sense. That makes sense.
And I
Come
mean,
on,
and he
makes
only
sense.
half explained
He
it. All
looks
he
like
said is like
a
that it
fucking
works.
mansplainer.
I think she
Yeah.
thought
He
something
was
went
like, your
wrong.
design. You remember when you designed that design, the thing that made me go to the other place?
So you didn't like the dialogue, is what you're saying?
No.
And
I thought this whole movie
he was the one who
garbage.
gave the talk too. Like she did all the science, and he was the one who gave.
Why
the,
does he get
Well,
to
I think.
talk?
Well, I think she also
so much?
dialed back during that talk because she was watching people,
Yeah.
and she's like, they say
Yeah.
that later. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, you don't know how to fucking calm down and like give them space. She was giving space,
Yeah.
and he was taking space.
But on the
Yeah.
other hand, it kind of seemed like he put her in charge of the PowerPoint.
oh no,
She was like
guaranteed.
behind the podium.
She was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
she was the one that did all the work, and he was like,
and he was just
It's like every class presentation I ever did.
yeah.
Like when I was like, when there was a coach that had to teach me history, you know?
Oh,
And he,
why
like-
do they always give the coaches history?
I don't know, man.
That's
Honestly,
not fair.
I did try to get that class because it was so fucking easy.
Yeah, that's why you get the
And
class with a coach.
Coach Carter wore gym shorts.
We had a
every
Coach
single
Carter,
day.
too.
I think
We had a Coach
everybody has
Head.
a Coach
Yeah,
Carter.
what the fuck is with the history?
I know.
because
What
history.
through?
But he's
They're
not
like,
history,
history's
and it was
shit.
Just, it
History's
was like
not that important,
all
guys.
dudes and
They
just
don't-
enough ladies
Well, that's
to
true.
do
Textbooks
every
don't give a
group
shit.
project.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And it was so like it was every group project was like one lady and 3 dudes,
Oh my god.
and then it was like the lady did the whole project.
And then the dudes got to do all the talking.
Oh, they
And
would
then
have
got to,
hated.
no, they got to keep playing football.
They would have
That's
hated
what they
being
got
with
to
me
do.
because they would have fucking. I never did work, so it would have been like, who's gonna work on a
They're like,
project?
wait,
I
wait,
was with the same group.
this
for the
girl
whole
we got
year
is
and so far-
broken.
I made them do
Get
a
us
whole
a new
final
one.
project. I was like, I've done all of them till this point. You're doing this one, and I just left them to do the final project, which was the big one. And I was like, I had to make like 4 poster boards. That sucked, but like, you got to write a bunch of
Right.
papers.
I think. I
hate
think in
group
terms
projects, man.
of like
The
Chris
worst.
Pine, I did. I don't know. Like I'm minorly torn. Like I felt bad for all of them. Like I
Yeah.
felt bad because I was
Yeah.
like, I hope that Charles Wallace never like actually thinks
Never
of his father
remembers.
the way
Remember.
that
Yeah.
the it try to make him think of him. But then at the same time, I was like, I'm glad that he
Hormones.
apologized in the space that he did. Like after they did get back and being like, you know, like it was a half-ass apology because
Yeah.
dialogue
Totally half-assed.
wasn't there. But
yeah, that was my
like,
problem with it.
I do appreciate that there was an at least apology. Like she didn't just come out like and give him a hug.
But what was he apologizing for leaving in the first place, or for trying to leave Charles Wallace
I think it
behind?
was supposed to be an all-encompassing.
Yeah, it seemed
sorry.
like he was apologizing for choosing the experiment
Yeah.
over
Over them.
work over the children.
Yeah.
And like even like with the like I should have held your hand instead of like trying to shake hands with the universe thing. It could be a thing of like I should have held your hand when you were trying to stay back for your brother type of thing. I don't know. Not clear in the
I
dialogue.
mean, the universe
Yeah.
gave him a reach around if you think about it.
it a whole reach around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like in that
thoughts.
moment where
Oh, that one's gonna be a quote I put on Instagram.
Yes, that's all
The
I'm
universe
going
gave
for
her a reach
now.
around.
Now that we're doing
On
the
a
quotes,
pants
all I'm
fly.
trying to do is rack up the quotes. Hot Facts. Welcome to Hot Facts. This is the part of the show where Sarah gives us some trivia and hot facts about this month's film, A Wrinkle in Time.
Do I
Sarah.
want a prize?
I don't know if it's like a trivia where we answer questions. I think it's more like information. We'll buzz in.
Damn it, Sarah.
So, first question. No. Okay, so in the book, the Murray family includes two identical twin brothers.
I read that. Yeah, I read that.
and they
in the
couldn't figure out a
Wikipedia.
way to include them in the film because like that'd be too many characters to.
I agree.
So does she go on the adventure with her two twin
No,
brothers?
they stay
I don't
home.
think so,
They stay
no.
home.
Oh,
so
she
they're
goes
like
by
older
herself.
brothers. So it's like two twin brothers.
I think
don't
they're
know.
younger. I don't know.
Possibly. I
Well,
don't
they've
know.
been. I have no idea because he's been gone. Like Charles Wallace is the youngest. Maybe they're in the middle
Does
because that would
Charles
explain the
Wallace
age gap.
go with them?
Is he still adopted?
Yeah,
in that
Charles
one?
Wallace and Meg
Charles
and
Wallace?
Calvin
So
all
that
go.
happens.
That happens
Okay.
in the book. But yes, I read about that there's the twins.
Weird.
Sorry.
I think that was a smart choice though.
Yeah,
That was- would've been
yes,
too
'cause
many
they-
there would have been too
I mean,
many left
they,
out characters.
They
Yeah.
couldn't develop the characters they had. So
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe there were two twin brothers in it. We just never saw them.
So this
They
is
were in
the
their room the whole
first
time.
live action movie with a 9-digit budget, directed by a woman of color.
That's awesome. Yes, let's clap for that.
Golf clap.
Yes, for the audio, not because we don't think it's awesome.
No, because golf clap.
So, because of the mixed to negative reactions and a disappointing box office in the U.S., the theatrical release of the film was canceled in several overseas countries and went straight to video on demand.
That's a bummer.
That makes me really fucking upset. Because again, I've seen a ton of children's. If fucking Boss Baby got released in what countries were those?
Belgium and the Netherlands.
Okay, I promise you, those fucking Dutch ass people were like watching Boss Baby in the fucking theater, and like that makes me upset because this movie was not that bad.
They were, and it just wasn't that bad.
It
like
was
it
not
just
that bad.
wasn't that bad.
It
Like
wasn't.
it was. I'm here
No.
with you on. It wasn't that great, but like
No,
it,
but it
wasn't
wasn't a
that
straight to
bad.
video.
It was not straight
and
to
it's-
video, no.
And I feel again. I'm gonna say this as long as Nicole keeps everything that's not
Fucking
cut.
say
It's
it.
just
It
gonna
needs
like
to be said.
Jasmine
It
shit
needs to
over
be
and over
said
again.
until it burns itself into everyone's
It's
fucking
not-
brains.
It's not because of the movie. It is because of the director and the director's choices to put black people in this movie. Like I everything in my spirit right now is telling me that the only reason this went straight to VHS is because it has black people. The same reason Hallmark doesn't fucking have black
Straight to
people on
VHS.
street.
It didn't even go to DVD. It
Right.
went straight to VHS. Like no one's gonna fucking watch this movie.
No one's watching it.
Good. It's just in a library somewhere.
This is why, like, a fucking is that I said VHS, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was in the '90s still.
It went straight to Laserdisc.
Like it's because, like I just can't
No,
understand it.
I agree.
Like,
that
I don't
infuriates
understand
me.
it.
I didn't know that. Thank you, Sarah. That makes me upset. A
Yeah,
lot.
I'm sorry. There's some
okay.
there's
I'm
some good things
I'm only
too.
gonna get madder.
Producer Catherine Hand, who has been on a 30-year journey to finally get this film in theaters, was crushed that Walt Disney had not gotten the chance to make a Wrinkle in Time movie before he died, and she made a promise to herself that she would be the one to make that happen. After many years and working with so many different people, she finally made the thing work.
That's a good news.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
That's
super
really.
good news. I'm
Did
sorry,
she
I'm still
know
stuck
Walt
in this other
Disney
one.
personally?
She did.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
How
sense.
old is she?
No.
She's old.
Hasn't his head been frozen in a box for like 70
I
years?
think that might be an
something?
urban legend.
No, I think that's
pretty
real.
sure it's real.
Watch, we're gonna be living in like Futurama, but in real life, where like Walt Disney is gonna be sitting in a goddamn snow globe, and he's gonna be talking.
And he's
to all of us.
gonna be like, I saw Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't that bad, you guys.
No, he's gonna be like, I saw Wrinkle in Time. what the fuck?
There were so
Is that
many
a black girl?
people in it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why
no,
are there so many black
his
people in
reaction.
this
She
What
wasn't a maid?
She was
race?
racist.
No,
All
super
right.
racist.
Yeah, that's fair.
Super
That's fair.
racist.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
And
Yeah.
also, Catherine Hand became close friends with Madeline L'Engle. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Oh.
And
The author of
she-
the book.
Langle.
L'Engle.
Lie.
She they were yeah, so they got along, and Catherine Hand worked with the screenwriter Jennifer Lee, who apparently wrote Frozen.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I've seen Frozen.
Wait, Jennifer,
I
the
lied.
person
I've
who
seen an animated movie.
wrote Frozen wrote this.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
shocking.
Yeah.
I love Frozen.
She wrote sibling relationships so well in that movie.
Again, we don't
Again,
know what
I-
influence the studio had. I'm
even
just saying we
outside
don't
of that,
know.
I feel like it was the crunch time, like trying to crunch a book into.
Yeah, that too.
A-
That's
a script.
difficult.
Still, it's just like it's not hard to make brothers and sisters seem like they like each other outside of this.
But
Well,
if
some
they
of that
don't
is
have
script, some of that is
chemistry,
acting.
if they don't have chemistry, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't
Yeah.
think that kid was a strong actor.
So this is a quote from Ava.
Okay.
We're not doing anything that shouldn't have already been done. The question is, why hasn't this been done before? There's nothing outstanding and outlandish about this cast. It's outstanding and outlandish that there's been cast without true reflections and inclusiveness of our daily lives. It's about the way you see it. So I get that question a lot, and my question back is, why haven't we been asking that question for the last 75 years or so? That's my answer to that.
Right.
I
Jasmine's been
love
dancing
that.
this whole time.
She's been dancing the whole time that
Yeah.
quote was being read.
Right. Right, Ava.
yeah.
Ask them, because like literally we cast white bitches all the time. For example, Hermione Granger
Yep.
was not described as a white fucking woman.
No.
So
and
we
it wasn't
put-
until rereading it that I was like, Hermione should be a fucking black woman.
So we put Emma Watson with kinky fucking hair in a
with a
goddamn movie
crimper. Yeah, we handed her a Con Air crimper
because
and
we
were
could
like,
not
that's
stand
fine.
a black girl being in the movie.
Well, they
Yeah.
did cast a black girl in the Broadway
did.
or the production
Yeah,
of
and it was just
Harry
like people were like,
Potter. It was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, right?
Yeah.
And people went fucking
People were not happy
ape
about
shit. They went nut house over it.
people can kiss my ass, because the only reason they think that she's a white girl is because when people with their lenses read a book, they immediately put everybody as a white character,
because-
and that's not
Yeah.
accurate.
I read Hermione Granger and thought of me. I pictured
Yeah.
me in the role of Hermione Granger.
And maybe
who I
that's the
pictured,
point.
and I think
Everybody
that's
should be
the
able to
point,
picture
you know?
themselves.
And like,
Yeah.
But a more diverse cast where she was not that. I mean, Emma Watson was great. We're not going to argue that. Emma was great in
no,
the
she's-
part.
I mean, Emma did what
But
she did.
if you had put a African American child in that part, then you would have at least had some diversity.
given a space other than like background characters
Yeah.
who just walked in the background, that my black ass could go too, but I'm just gonna walk in the
but
background.
not as part of a big part of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Chris Pine
Don't.
Hadn't-
I'm mad at him right now.
hadn't
It's not
read
his
the
fault.
book,
It's not his fault.
and he wasn't sure about. He hadn't read the book. He wasn't sure if he was going to do it. But then he met Ava and found out that it would be like a multi-racial family, and that was the thing that drew him to
his
the.
agent was like, Oprah's in it. You're doing it.
Don't you do that to Chris Pine. I just forgave him
Yeah.
with that comment.
Yeah.
Okay,
His agent said, Oprah's in
guys-
this. You're doing it.
do you guys know how they found the actor who played Calvin?
I know
They
he's an Aussie, so-
they saw his eyes from the across
Oh,
like
he's
across the
Australian. He's
commissary.
Australian.
focusing so hard.
Is it YouTube?
He was like, I'm 12 years old and trying to do an American accent. That's why I can't be sincere.
He's like, I literally can only concentrate on that.
Catherine Hand did a Google search for a 13-year-old redheaded actor and came across his picture.
He's
not
not a
redheaded.
redhead.
Yes, I know. I know.
What?
So Google casting is a thing.
Apparently.
He's not redhead.
Get your Google search. Yeah, I mean that was.
So what you're saying is I should tag all of my headshots as like white, blonde,
Yep.
blue-eyed.
beautiful.
Yep.
So I have another Ava DuVernay quote,
Awesome.
Please.
which explains some, doesn't explain. I mean, okay, here we
It's a thought.
go. According to DuVernay, A Wrinkle in Time is not a shiny, bright Disney movie. I love shiny, bright Disney movies, but this is a movie that embraces a bit of a quirkier, darker edge, like the book. They've been really great in allowing me aesthetic latitude to really bring my filmmaking style into it, which is awesome, and they never said no to anything.
Huh.
That
That's a
ruins
bummer.
everything Nicole has thought.
That's a
why.
bummer.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah. And also,
Bummer.
I don't think that there was enough darkness to this movie.
No.
But I do
No.
think there
So-
was
I wouldn't call this
darkness.
movie dark at all.
Like
I
It
wouldn't
was,
call it
but
dark
it's
at
not
all.
like the never-ending story.
No,
dark.
I think
Right.
no, I think it had darkness.
It's
Well,
not.
nothing has like darkness like we grew up with though.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Is
but I
movies
feel
are
like I feel
really
like this
soft
had
now.
darkness
I mean, that's
like
the thing. I'm thinking of like Black Cauldron. I'm thinking of Labyrinth. I'm thinking of Never Ending Story. I'm thinking of all of these movies that I grew up with that were like
So dark.
well, nothing
kinda
will
fucked
ever
up.
be as dark as like we're used to, and that's unfortunate. I agree.
But
However, like think about like
but then again, when you think of
Princess
fun,
and the Frog,
yeah,
like that had a dark aspect to it with the voodoo, and I think
Yeah.
that A Wrinkle in Time gives us closer to that. Except like you know, like the really sad shit. Like they bring up the
Yeah.
sad sides of
Yeah.
families and like a father potentially abandoning for his own
Yeah.
like personal gain and like X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z. So I think that's the darkness that she's playing
Mhm.
with.
But the it was really cartoonish, like how it it was
agreed.
only this embodied in this little boy who had a squeaky voice.
I
It
know. I
wasn't what
would
I
have
was scared
preferred.
of,
Yeah, I
though.
would have
No.
preferred the it to be scary.
But I don't feel like
no,
it
I was
was
scared
the
about dude with the
antagonist.
sunglasses and the food
Yeah.
tasting like sand. But
Yeah,
Right.
that guy was scary
I think-
as fuck.
I was mostly scared of my food tasting like sand.
I
but-
think
Yeah.
that what the antagonist wasn't necessarily it. I think it was more so what the it does to people. Like I was more
Yeah.
frightened not by the space that the it
Which
was
works in a
but like
book.
the space that like the teachers and like
Yes.
Yeah.
the girl who's like the bully and
Yeah.
like the dad. Like I think that all of that was a little darker
Yeah.
than what was actually than what was actually supposed to be dark.
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
So I have one more hot fact.
Okay.
There are no talks about making sequels, even
Yeah.
though there were more books.
Yeah, I know. There's
Oh,
actually
it was a series.
there's four books.
Yes, 4 books.
God,
I want it now though.
Charlotte just finished A Wind in the Door. It's the second book.
a wind in the door.
And there's also a swiftly tilting planet. Is that what it's called?
I don't remember what the other two are called,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's 4 books.
I kind of want it though because I
Or
just
5, maybe 5 books.
the only reason I want it is not because it's necessarily good. It's because
Yeah.
I want people to be able to see this character
I do
as
too.
a longevity character
I do
No,
too.
Yeah.
I get that.
of someone
Yeah.
that they can follow behind. Like I think that it would be useful, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that they could then take the things that didn't work in the first movie, which happens all the time. Like you got Hangover. You got like
there were
three fucking hangovers.
hangover movies.
And
know.
the second one did not work, and they still gave them a third one. So, like, if that's the case, give them a couple of more tries
mediocre
to
white
figure
men
this
get
out.
movie after movie after
Right.
movie. Give Ava a chance.
Give
to
the next
make a
one to
second-
J.J. Abrams. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
kidding.
mean, like, but not like even give it to her, but like,
Yeah.
let her figure out what did not work in it. There are things
Yeah.
that worked in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
There are things that did not work in this movie. Let her learn from that and try out a second one. If the second one flops, then that's when you pull the plug.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't pull the like. We have so many. There are
There's
12,000
even-
fucking gnome movies,
God, what were
and I
those
know
ones
you've
that-
seen most of them.
What were the ones
I have
that
not
came
seen the gnome
after-
ones, but
Oh my God.
Romeo and Juliet just came out.
There's
and
Romeo and Juliet. There's
it only
Sherlock
got a
Gnomes.
It only got a 20. Oh, Sherlock Gnomes just came out. It only
Oh
got
my
a 22% on
Well,
Rotten
and I'm
Tomatoes.
thinking
In
about
case
the movies
anyone's
that
wondering.
came out after Catching Fire too. That was a similar
Those
dystopian
were-
novel. Not Hunger Games, but the other
Yeah,
one.
Defiance and whatever
Yes,
the
those
shit.
are the Allegiant and
Yep.
Defiant.
That
and
movie
whatever.
was
they were fucking garbage. They were
shitty.
garbage. I felt
They
Yeah.
even did Maze Runner.
I
They did
fell
like a
asleep
series
in
of
the
Maze
middle
Yep,
of
Runner.
that was
movie
shitty too.
theater.
And that's
Shit,
my
shit,
thing.
shit.
Like, if you can do a series of those, why can't we do a
Right?
series for
I agree.
kids that deserve to see themselves?
I
in
know, but they
movies?
won't. They're not going to because they're like, she had her chance.
That's so
Which
like,
sucks.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Sorry to leave you on that. I wish I had
It's
some.
too late, Sarah. You've done it.
Sorry.
Welcome to Plug It Up. This is the part of the show where we plug fun things that our guests are doing and that we, Critical Crop Top, are doing. So let's start with Jasmine, who coincidentally is also one of the staff members of Critical Crop Top. So this is just a big old Critical Crop Toppy good time plug fest.
Orgy.
Yes.
Jasmine,
Get ready to only know what we're doing for the next month.
Jasmine is a part of that. Jasmine, what would you like to plug?
I would like to plug our next show, which is Critical Crop Tarp.
It's Critical
Crop Tarp.
Critical Crop Tarp. We've decided to change our name.
Critical Crop Ratch.
Critical crap tarp.
Critical Crop Top enters the multiverse, which is on May 11th 13th, 18th, and 20th at the Highland Inn Ballroom.
Yes.
It's going to be super fun, as per usual. Our lovely cast that will be with us are Andy Fleming, Patrick Morgan, Cameron Richardson, Liz Shad, John Good, Nicole Kemper, Hillary R. fucking Heath.
Our fucking Heath.
Come see us. I do nothing else with my life.
Jasmine's dead inside.
You're
Okay,
so
you also
cool,
want? Did you
right?
plug your
I
Twitter?
am
You
so
wanted to
cool.
plug your Twitter,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Also follow me. I'm not that funny, but
That's
I
not
almost
true.
Fucking hilarious.
I
you
almost
guys.
had
I
the
retweet her all
president retweet me because he hated me, and it was great. I've gotten trolled before, so I feel like I've made
So
it.
you're on the up and
Yes.
up.
My Twitter is at Real Life by Jazz, and that's JAZ. Follow me. Everything else is properly spelled.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. I'm gonna plug our videos. Our latest video, of course, is a web series, Beer's Workplace Sensitivity Training Series, starring Sarah Allison Hodges.
It's so funny.
Me.
And you can watch that on many places. Of course, we have Vimeo. We're on Funny or Die. We're on YouTube. We have our own videos page on our website, criticalcroptop.com/videos. And you can find us on Thea, which is a brand new, exciting platform for local Atlanta artists. And so you can go visit us on Thea. We have a channel. You can see all of our shows there, all of our films. And you can download Thea for your phone and watch it conveniently on your commute, but not while you're driving.
Yeah, through either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Is that what it's called?
You don't know anything about Android phones? do
I don't
you?
know anything about Android phones. My grandma has one, and the other day I spent an
That's insulting.
agonizing hour trying to figure out how to work it for her.
I saw a Thea billboard near where I live.
Really?
Nice. They've been putting out some great stuff lately. I've been
Yeah.
watching. It's
They've
like
got some
pilot
they've got
season over there
shows.
at
Yeah, they've
Thea,
got
and, like,
pilots.
They've got a bunch of stuff coming out. It's great.
It's really, I mean, you can go on there and just like get lost. I mean, there's tons, and it's
And it's all
everything on there is
Atlanta-based.
all Atlanta-based talent. So, please check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, check us out, but check them out. Generally speaking, as well.
Yes. Can you hear that train?
It's
Do we
late.
need to wait for
It's
it?
late. Nah, fuck it.
Okay.
Trained all over our.
We're not recording.
One of
We're
my-
not recording an Oscar-nominated
One
film
of my
right
favorite
now.
things is a friend of mine moved into an apartment complex like down the road, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the train only comes by between 1 and 3 p.m." And I was like, "Nah, bitch, it doesn't." And he was like, "But my apartment complex said it did," and I was like,
Oh,
"Nah,
you're wrong,
bitch,
bro."
Nah. I was like, "It'll come through at 3 a.m. and wake you the fuck up."
I don't even hear that shit anymore.
I don't.
I mean, I
either.
wake up periodically in a cold sweat because I have 3 children.
Yeah, I
So
do
that
because
wakes
I
me
have
up.
anxiety. I just wake up in a cold sweat because I have anxiety. And I'm
Is it a
like,
cold? Is it a cold sweat or a warm sweat?
It's normally just like a clammy sweat.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Clammy.
It's cold.
It's
and
like
clammy.
my face is cold because I have a cooling pillow.
You have
and
a
then I
cooling.
have
What's a
lot of-
cooling pillow?
I'll let you feel it afterwards.
I don't know if I want to.
To
You
be
should.
cooled
It's
on my
honestly
head when I
great.
sleep.
You should also.
But
feel
I don't
it
know, want my
before you
head to
leave
be a
here.
different
Okay.
temperature than the rest of my
Nah,
body.
You do. It's great.
I love cool pillows.
I also sleep with a sleep cap on, like a black woman, because it helps my hair.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jasmine, for teaching me how to wrap my hair.
Have your ends been splitting as quickly?
No, not
Wait.
even
Will
at
that
all.
help my hair too?
It will
Yes,
help everyone's
dude,
hair.
My
Black
my
people
split
are just-
ends are amazing.
Have
my
we all
hair loss
seen-
is so down. Like the amount that I comb out and the amount that comes out when I shower and wash my hair, like the dead ends and stuff that comes out when you naturally wash your hair.
Also,
I've
it
had,
would
like,
help.
1 to 2
My
hairs.
husband doesn't want to cuddle me because my hair always strangles him.
Dude,
Have we all
sleep cap.
seen Black Panther?
Not
yet.
yet. No,
Okay.
I haven't seen
God
it yet.
damn it! I hate all 3 of you.
Our black
No,
cartoon
no.
beings.
Listen,
If you would have seen
I-
it, you would know that black people are superior, and I'm sorry to inform you.
no,
okay.
that's
No,
true.
I accept that.
You guys,
We
really,
know
I bow
everything.
down to you about skincare and hair care. Really,
Well, we
it
know
truly
we
is
know
the
more than
best.
that. But so yes, it will help your hair. It'll help your hair. It'll help
Okay.
your hair.
All
Let
right.
me
All right.
help
I'm
you.
gonna
Yeah.
try.
Yes.
I'm
Jasmine
gonna try.
actually cuts
because
my hair.
my hair
and was
falls
like-
out all the time.
I will help you. Let me be your guide.
It's so funny since I've been
So
wearing it.
excited.
Jasmine cuts my hair, and she was just like, "Yeah, you have a lot less split ends since you've been wearing that cap." I'm like, "Yes, I know.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out and get a cap.
It's so worth it.
I'm gonna cap it.
$3 at Walgreens, man.
All right.
It's called
I'm
a
gonna
bonnet,
Walgreens?
and all the black people listening to this right now are like, "Bitch!"
What's
and
a
all the
cap?
white people are like, "A bonnet, like the 1860s ones." No.
I'm gonna
I
get.
don't know. I wear a cap.
I'm gonna do whatever you say.
Nicole's like,
I'm gonna do whatever you
let's
say.
do it.
Hillary,
Okay,
what have you got besides hair care products? What do you have to plug?
It's the $3 bonnet that I got at Walgreens. I'd also
This
like
episode's sponsored by Bonnet.
by Satin Bonnets. The other thing that I would like to plug is our social media. You can follow the Feminine Mistake Podcast on Facebook
And Instagram.
and Instagram at Feminine Mistake Pod, and then on Twitter at Fem Mistake Pod.
Femma Mistake Pod.
Yes, with 2 M's.
Is it?
Fem Mistake Pod.
No,
No, it's just
not.
Fem
Just one.
Mistake Pod. It's
One
like,
M.
it's 1 M in each word, but 2 M's total.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
I get
the
it.
total.
So it's not
In total.
FEMME mistake. No.
No,
it's
that
Fem
doesn't make-
Mistake Pod.
no.
Um,
And then we got to thank a sponsor.
And then we do, yes. We would like to thank our sponsor, Wonder Shop, which is a co-working community in Atlanta, Georgia, located in Candler Park. They have been nice enough to let Critical Crop Top host our writers' rooms there once a
our
month.
monthly writers group.
And
Did I say monthly?
Yeah,
It's tastier than monthly, but it is a monthly
it is.
writers group
It's this awesome space. You can check out their website.
and a haven
It really is
for
a
artists
little haven for artists.
and workers in the community.
And please check out their website and check out their calendar. They have community events that go on there in the evenings. And if you're a freelancer or you work from home and you're looking for a new place to call your office space, they've got really great flexible rates for you. And it's a co-working space that it feels like a home. It's really nice. It's a very nice community, and it's filled with
And
artwork.
a great location.
In a great location, and we really just can't sing enough praises of them. So thank you, Wonder Shop. You're wonderful.
Wonder Shop is wonderful.
They are.
There you go. There's a tagline. All right, guys, I've had a blast with you talking about this movie.
I've had an all right time.
By the time you hear this, this will be, of course, the end of our first episode. So this will wrap up our first episode talking about A Wrinkle in Time, and then we'll be talking about this film all month. So we'll have Jasmine Waters on all month. We'll have several more episodes talking about this film, and then we'll round out the month with a very special Lady Bits topic that you will find out when we get there. It'll be a surprise.
What is it? I forget.
What is it? You've already forgotten the discussion.
I'm just kidding.
So thank you everybody for joining us for today's episode of the Feminine Mistake Podcast. Please come back and join us next week. We will still be talking about A Wrinkle in Time. And thank you, Jasmine, for being on the show this month.
Thank you for inviting me. I just love being here, drinking wine, and showing my titties.
Thank you for
She
having.
did not
Thank
show
you
her
for
titties,
doing
just
this.
so you guys know.
She's been topless this whole time. I'm just
Just
gonna be
had
real.
her tits out the whole time. Nipples staring at the ground.
Thank you. Wow.
Fuck you.
Um,
She's right.
A three-timer on the podcast,
Yes,
I
and
get
our
a jacket.
only returning guest that we've ever had.
She's getting
Yeah.
a jacket on
I get
time
my
number
jacket.
4.
next time.
Getting a jacket. You're like Rocky 3. That's a good one, right?
No,
I don't know.
Rocky
Honestly,
3 a good
yes,
one?
Rocky 1, they're all kind of questionable.
Oh, okay. Well, no,
that's
you're better
okay.
than that. And thank you guys for listening. And if you have a bad casting breakdown that you'd like us to read on the show, you can send that or any of your thoughts on A Wrinkle in Time to Feminine Mistake Podcast at gmail.com.
We're the Vocal Fries. I'm Carrie.
And I'm Megan.
And we have a podcast about linguistic discrimination.
We talk about language, not being a jerk, not judging people for the way that they speak, and we try to have a good time.
We talk about things like vocal fry, swearing, Southern American English, and prescriptive grammar.
You can find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast app.